So as you guys know, my X-Ride had broke down. It had a spindle that was messed up on it, and it had the seat latch, and then the hydro on the left side had some fluid on it. I don't know where it come from, but I know that hydraulics just don't leak or expand or sweat, things like that. So the fluid had to come from somewhere on the hydraulic. Now, I took it to the shop to get it fixed, and that has been over 3 weeks ago. So last week I called and was wanting to see what was going on with that. I had called 2 weeks prior to that when I dropped it off. So I dropped it off on a Tuesday. They said it would be done on like a Monday or Tuesday of the next week. So next week comes, I call, and they're like, oh, it's going to be next Tuesday or next Wednesday, something like that. Parts not come in yet. So that day comes. Well, then this last week came, which was going on 3 weeks, over 3 weeks. And so I call again, and I'm like, hey, what is going on here? And they're like, well, actually, the part is on back order. It's going to be another month before we can get the spindle. And they said that they thought the hydraulic wheel unit, the 5400, was sweating or something like that. And they said that they sprayed it, couldn't see any more fluid and stuff. So I was like, well, I need to get the spindle fixed for sure. It's under warranty. So I thought, well, if all that's the case and it's a month out, I can't wait a month. So I'm going to show you guys my yard and then kind of talk some more about that. So I'll flip this around for you. This is my yard right now. And if you guys have seen it before, this hasn't been cut in I hadn't cut it 2 weeks prior to the spindle going out because I was planning on some competitions. And so after that, I didn't get to cut it. So this is going on almost a month and a half of I haven't cut it. And you can see that it's 2 foot tall. I mean, it is absolutely insane how it looks like my field. I mean, my field and my yard look the same. So anyway, I told them, I was like, I cannot wait another month. Is there anything that you can do? And he was like, well, we can put an aftermarket spindle in it, but Hustler will void your warranty if you do that. And I was like, that's absolutely absurd. So my thinking was, as a dealer, you know, I bought a bunch, and this will be for you guys that have a dealership. My thinking was, you know, just don't say nothing to Hustler, put an aftermarket one in it, and then when the OEM comes, just swap it out and be done with it. But they didn't really want to mess with that. So I'm like, I'm going to call around, talk to some other dealers, see if this is the case. Because you can see how thick this is. I mean, look at that. There's seed head down through there. Now, this lip around through here, I had been mowing with my autonomous mowers and my little remote control mowers. But I got a hold of some other dealers, and basically they said that that was the case as far as the spindles, that the spindles are on back order. So if you're needing a Hustler spindle, they're about a month and something out. So my recommendation is, if you're going to buy a Hustler, make sure that you buy from a dealer or work with a dealer that keeps parts on hand. So what I done is I called another dealer, and I'm like, hey, I want to get this fixed. And I was like, can you guys ship this part to them? Anyway, I couldn't get anything done as far as fixing the X-Ride quickly. So I got tired of that, and I was like, I am going to just go and get a different mower. So I called around and got a hold of a dealership and locked in another mower that I went and picked up. I think you guys will be kind of excited to see it during testing and stuff. And so I went and picked that up last night, and I'm going to show you some of the footage and stuff, and then I'm going to show you guys it mowing some of this yard and kind of showcase my thoughts on it and a little bit more, and then we'll do some more testing with it. But this is like I said, this is crazy thick grass. I don't know if you can tell in video, but it is, like the seed heads are at least 2.5 foot, and it is an absolute mess. Like, my yards never look like this, but there's some of it's even over here that's even thicker than that. This side gets a little bit thinner as it goes through. It's just not as well taken care of. When I fertilize and stuff, I do mostly around the front, and then I'll hit this lightly because it's not seen, and it just wastes a bunch of money. But on the Hustler deal, I talked to this dealer when I went to pick up this other mower, and this is one of the biggest dealers in the nation for Hustler. So they are a major player in the game when it comes to selling Hustler mowers. I was talking with them about it, and as you know, Stanley Black Decker has bought Hustler out. And when they bought it out, I know from my experience that they let a lot of people go that were really, really like their reps. A lot of their mainstream techs and stuff went to Warhawk, and that's why Warhawk has a very similar deck to Hustler. Hustler's patent run out on some things, so they used some of that, and then they took some stuff from Exmark and a few other things, and you guys can go back and see the video of Warhawk cutting and stuff like that with us, and that'll give you an idea of how they cut and how they perform. They do have a good warranty. Now, this dealer also carries Warhawk, and basically they were saying that yes, some parts are on back order. Now, what that says to me, that's really wild, because Hustler's been in the game forever. Stanley Black Decker is a massive, massive company, and it's crazy to me that any part would be on back order that is that big a company, especially like a spindle, because there's 3 on each unit, and they're all, like, what's wild is the 60, the 72, and the other one all use the same spindle. So if that's on back order, they've got so many machines that are back ordered for that part. What is it, little man? What are you screaming about? So if your major commercial machines have units and stuff that's on back order, you're going to really struggle to fulfill parts and things like that. And to me, that is deadening thought. Like, I'm thinking, well, what is the future of Hustler and so forth? So my recommendation is really over the next couple years, think about watch Hustler, as in, are they getting parts more? Are they taking care of the dealers and things like that? Now, I did talk with this dealer, and they said that they don't have any trouble getting parts unless they're on back order, but they keep parts on hand all the time. They're stacked up in parts. So if you're looking at a dealer, make sure they're big enough to keep all the parts for that brand. And when I went to this dealership, there was people going left, right, crazy. I mean, they had people putting mowers together, fixing mowers on trailers, fixing mowers in the parking lot. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Now, there was quite a few Hustlers there, but they were all older units. A lot of people have said all their dealerships are stacked up with Hustlers that are Hustler dealers because they're not getting parts, they're back ordered, things like that. So I'm very curious to know what's going on in your part of the country with Hustler. Do you see a major backlog of Hustler mowers sitting at the dealership not taken care of? To me, I still love Hustler. Like, it's hard for me to get away from Hustler. They have the best components. They're the smoothest mower in the industry. Like, they're bar none the smoothest driving, riding. They have a ton of other things. Now, for me, the X-Ride is very bouncy, and I'm going to give a full review on it, but I wanted to go back to a different unit. So I'm going to show you guys the unit that I picked up, and also I'm going to show you my thoughts on it and why I went the way that I did. But before that, I'm going to show you our trip to the dealership and kind of show you some footage of it. And also, if you guys don't know, Hustler makes two different decks. There's a VX deck and a VX4. So I'm going to show you guys that and a few other things. But anyway, Steve, you can tell me your thoughts on that after We're back to pick it up and basically take it to another dealer so that we can get it taken care of. Yeah. Yes. So we're here, and I wanted to show you guys, this is a VX deck in a 72, and there's a lot of people that wonder, you know, what they look like and what the difference is. So I was going to look at these two because the VX on this is different than the VX4, like on this. And the outer shell of it pretty much looks the same, but I'll show you the inner shell. You can see how there's no movable baffle under that. And then on the VX4, like on this one, it has a movable baffle in the front right here. You see that? So you can move the baffle up and down. And this side is slightly different. A lot of people don't know you can get either one on the mower. So that's always something to keep in mind. Super Z 72. So let's see. Yeah, this one has a VX4 on it. Let you guys see some prices. The Super Z has 2612 by 12, where the hyperdrives have a 261412. Let's see, yeah. Well, that was 12 by 12 too, so that's a Super Z. Where's a hyperdrive? Here we go. You can see how much wider a tire is versus that. And then the coolers are bigger on the hyperdrives. And they'll run about 2 miles an hour faster is what they say. Look at the valving down in there. So this has the Danfoss or Foos, however you want to say it. And you can see this one has a valve in there for like relief. This one doesn't have that, but it has the big reservoir here, which this runs the Parker pumps and or hydro gear pump and whichever one it is, and Parker wheel motor. But they're both 21cc, but this just has a cross cable between it versus the hyperdrive where it's got that big valve in there. They've got the Warhawk ones up here too. So this dealer has Warhawk. Looks like they're going to carry Viper eventually. Bobcat, Hustler, Ferris, Grasshopper. We just had these out for testing. There's a 72 in that. You can kind of see here. 13.5, MSRP's 18. This is 72 with, looks like a Kohler 940. I've been looking at the power curves and stuff on Kawasaki motors versus others. So curious as to, you like that little thing? Man, you could get that thing anywhere. Look how narrow that is. That's called a surfer. Yeah, that's a neat little deal. It's a perfect size for you. Hey, how you doing? I don't know what that thing is. It's like the front decks on the grasshoppers. I didn't even know they made one of those. It's like a 3-wheeler. I guess I have to go under fences and stuff. One of the things I did notice is they went to this cheaper armrest, which is like Skaggs done, and these do not last long. These are absolute garbage, and they don't feel as good as the bolstered ones. So I hate that. But that's just a minuscule thing. You can change those out. But anyway, let's get this fired up. I'll back out so you can ride your scooter. I absolutely love how smooth these Super Z and hyperdrives are. I mean, they're just finger drivable. So smooth. I like the X-Ride a lot, but I much prefer the stance and ride of the Super Z like this. I can't wait to put 26s on it and 14 wides to see how that changes, because it's going to give an even cushier ride. But I'm ready to see how this does on hills compared to the X-Ride, because this and the X-Ride, there's about 80 to 100 pound difference. This being a little bit heavier, but this has a much better pump and wheel motor system on it. So we'll see if the weight makes a difference and the seat height and stuff. But overall, like I said, I'm excited to test this 72-inch deck. So we're going to mow down through here. The grass is still damp. It's still got dew and stuff on it. I'm going to mow on lockout on this just to see how it does, because I want to clear a lot of this seed head and everything. And also, I don't want to cut it really low in comparison to where it's at right now, because as you can see, it is, 2 foot above where we're cutting. So this will give you guys a good test on this, and also on the Kawasaki. Now, this has, I mowed what little bit last night, a half hour on it. I filled both tanks up, so we'll get to see everything right here. And I'm just leaving it on lockout. You can still see the water in the grass, like it's completely covered. So you can see that cut there. There's where I did last night. Like I said, there's still dew and stuff on it. That grass seed's flying up. Got one in my throat. Goodness. But you can see that cut there. I mean, that thing is smooth. This shaved that really good. And like I said, 72 inches, and you can see across through there the lines in there. I'm just making crazy stripes. As the day goes on, this will clear up and you'll be able to see it better. But you can see last night where I chopped some of them in the dark. You can see some longer grass seed or grass heads laying on top. But I mean, that thing is cutting. I mean, it's taking on a ton of grass. But I am super excited because you can see how wide these stripes are going to be and how quick this yard is going to get knocked down versus a 60.
And then you made those short.
Yeah, that's fine. Anywhere with a seat. That's excellent. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to sit in that? Like, that is perfect. Look at this.
Block it in. I got in my high chair still, but I didn't know.
Excellent.
All right. Here's the kids' menu.
Look at this. Girl knew what she was talking about, didn't she? What do you think?
This is the best restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
You can lay down and take a nap, Pee-wee. Hey! I know. So here, we're right off the river. So the Ohio River is right over there. You can see the bridge. We was able to park down here driving a big truck and trailer too. So this is the beer cheese fondant, whatever you want to call it, with pretzels. It's got some spice to it, but it's really good. It was 16 bucks. I definitely think it's overpriced. But I mean, back home we get this for $8, $9. Wyatt just likes to move stuff around. What are you doing? Sucking up the rock salt. That's the kids' grilled cheese and fries. I don't know what's on them fries. It looks like garlic, so it looks good though. And there's the burger. That's super snazzy. What was it? What did that cost?
Nothing else to say. It was just a...
Well, I just was telling him, like, what is it?
It was, I think, $8.
$8 and that 7 and 8. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah. This is a blackened chicken pecan salad. And that is, what is that? The spicy chicken?
Yeah.
It looks good. I don't know what these are. This has some kind of lavender sauce on it. There's what that came out to be, all that we got, just in case you're wondering. Police driving in a Ranger or a Defender.